Django Fett on the job.
What's up, guys? I'm Django Fett, hunting down games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more. Here to do a review of the second movie of the Hobbit trilogy. That's the Hobbit, the Desolation of Smaug. And if you haven't seen my review of the first movie, I recommend you check it out. I'll put a link for it down below in the description, or you can check it out right here. You guys already noticed that I'm in a completely different room. I have some posters in the background, Lord of the Rings poster. Lighting's not the best right now, but pretty good. I have a Lord of the Rings poster for this review of The Hobbit. I got my Star Wars stuff over here. Boba Fett fighting off predators, which is badass. Got this from a Comic-Con, local Comic-Con I should say, which is badass. Love that. And one of these days I will show you guys up close views of all this stuff. It's pretty cool. I'm planning on adding some more posters and make it a little bit more exciting than it is already. So I just wanted to mention that. I want to also mention that the movie begins 1 year before the events of The Hobbit, with Thorin meeting Gandalf at the Prancing Pony, and Gandalf tells Thorin that he must reclaim his homeland from Smaug with the help of a burglar. Then the movie opens up to the present time, and there we go. Now let's just jump into this review by talking about the pros of The Hobbit, the Desolation of Smaug. Let's start with the characters. Bilbo has changed since the last movie. He's become more courageous than ever, saving the dwarfs' asses 2 to 3 times in this movie alone. He's becoming more dark towards his love with the ring, and you can see that in like an early moment in the movie. There are also some cool new characters that were not included in the book, and a lot of die-hard Lord of the Rings, Hobbits, diehards are gonna hate these inclusion of these characters. But I loved it. The 2 characters most notably included that were not in the book were Legolas and Tauriel. But frankly, I think it worked. I really think it worked. I know a lot of people miss the original Fellowship in the Lord of the Rings movies. And with Orlando Bloom as Legolas returning in the Sylvan Elven Kingdom, it only makes sense to include him. No reason to hide him while he's in that kingdom, and with his father Thranduil there as well. There was also a hilarious Easter egg with Legolas and Gimli's father Gloin, and I will just say no more. It was freaking hilarious. Legolas was an ass-kicking machine in the Lord of the Rings movies, and he continues that trend in this movie. Also, another elf I mentioned that was not included in the books was Tauriel, played by Evangeline Lilly, who was a super hot elf chick who kicked major ass. She gets Legolas on her side to fight against the orcs who rampage through their lands, and it was just awesome seeing that duo fight together. And I really felt that the inclusion of Legolas and Tauriel was justified. It was truly justified. Lee Pace as Thranduil. I also want to mention that Lee Pace also played as Ronan, the villain, in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And if you haven't checked out my movie review for Guardians of the Galaxy, you can check it out right here. I thought I'd just put that out there. Now, Thranduil is the arrogant elf king who has an ego and reminds me a lot like Malfoy's father. I don't know why, because they're both the same guys. But Lee Pace was very convincing as Thranduil, without a doubt. And this guy really needs to be in more stuff. I think he's a really, really good actor. Benedict Cumberbatch as Smaug the Dragon. 2013 was truly Benedict's year to shine as a villain. He was also great as Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness. Great movie, by the way, definitely check that out. And he's perfect as Smaug in this movie. The CGI for Smaug was just awesome. I definitely recommend you check out the creation of Smaug in the DVD. Benedict actually does the motion capture and has all this stuff attached to him. It's actually pretty cool. Definitely check it out. Really cool stuff. Smaug definitely had the best CGI in the entire movie. Benedict did a really great job as portraying the terrifying megalomaniac dragon. I just loved how Smaug chatted with Bilbo. That scene with Bilbo and Smaug was just as great as the Riddles of the Dark scene with Gollum and Bilbo. I thought it was just even better than that. Also, most recently, the extended edition of this movie recently came out, and I did get a chance to see it. It was honestly a million times better than the first The Hobbit and Unexpected Journeys extended edition. a million times better by far. Where the first movie added nothing to further the story or was remotely interesting, this movie's extended edition is the exact opposite of that. This is the biggest pro of them all, but my favorite scene in this entire movie was the barrel scene. It's worth the price of admission alone for this movie. Action-packed and awesome as anything. And Bomber kicked ass as well. He was the surprise in that scene. Holy shit. With the dwarves and elves kicking ass in that scene. Holy shit, was that awesome. But now let's talk about the cons of The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. This is going to be really hard for me to do because I really enjoyed this movie a lot. But I gotta do it. First and most obvious is Thorin. The guy got chewed up by a freaking ward at the end of the first movie. How the hell is he like perfectly fine in the beginning of this movie? That makes no goddamn sense. They didn't even bother explaining it or anything. That guy should be broken. He should be broken in half. And he's perfectly fine. He's 100%. He's like 200% health. It makes no goddamn sense. Another thing I have to complain about yet again, and it was a major problem from the last movie, and that was the soundtrack. Again, they didn't put emphasis in the soundtrack in all of these movies. I doubt they will put it in the third movie as well. I really doubt it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. The only song I remember and liked was the Lake Town theme. But I only liked the first 10 to 30 seconds of it. After that, I didn't care. This soundtrack has to be the worst of the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings soundtracks. By far the worst. I don't remember a single song except the Lake Town theme in this movie. Also, I have to mention Thorin again. He had one very weird moment where he became insane all of a sudden. It was just like the most random point in the movie too. And he was about to kill Bilbo at some point. Then he gets set on fire by Smaug, and then he just pretends it like it never happened. He gets set on fire, does a barrel roll, and says, "Come on, are you kidding me?" That's bad writing right there. Now I really do see the change with Thorin and Bilbo in the third movie. I really want to see that. Lastly, the romance between Fili and Toriel was awkward. It was really bad, really badly executed. It just didn't even need to be in the movie in the first place. Okay, now for my score. And it's gonna piss a lot of people off for what I'm gonna give it, with some of the major cons I mentioned. But I'm giving this movie, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, a 5 out of 5. I loved this movie so much last year, I saw it twice in theaters. Twice. I never do that with movies. I see it once, I'm done. There are only very few movies I want to see twice in theaters, or see it a second time on DVD. Very few movies out there for me. But this movie is one of them that I had to see in theaters again. I mean, it had to be a great movie for me to warrant seeing it twice in theaters. And it really was. I really do think it was a great movie. I'm not going to say it was on the level of Lord of the Rings, but it was still a great damn movie to see. This was just a fun, action-packed Hobbit film that the first film should have been. And that's why I think a lot of people hate the Hobbit series, because the first movie was just not good in their standards and didn't follow up with the book entirely. I mean, who does that? What movies out there follow the books in entirety? I don't know any. But I thought the Hobbit films are doing a great job of what they're interpreting and what they're doing. I like the change. And tomorrow, guys, Battle of the Five Armies. I'm so excited. I'm super pumped for that movie. This is my highly anticipated movie. Oh my god, it's coming. And I might even consider watching it twice in theaters, depending on how it is. So I will watch it tomorrow, and I'll have the review out for you guys next week. And after that, I'm taking a huge break from movie reviews. They take a lot of time in my life. The next movie review I will be doing after The Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies is The Avengers. Holy shit, that's my most highly anticipated movie for next year. Forget Star Wars. Avengers is my thing. Star Wars can take a back seat for all I care. So that's my review for you guys. Please don't forget to drop a like and comment this video. And be on the lookout for any updates to my YouTube channel through Twitter and Facebook. Links will be below in the description. And I'll see you guys at my Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies review. I cannot wait. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.